A settlement agreement is a legally binding contract made between an employee and an employer. You might also hear these agreements being referred to as compromise agreements. A settlement agreement effectively provides a clean break between the employee and the employer, with both parties having agreed the terms of departure and the compensation or settlement payment. You will need to obtain independent legal advice from a solicitor before you sign a settlement agreement. The role of the employment solicitor is to talk you through the legal jargon in the agreement, make sure that you understand and are happy with what you are signing, and to discuss with you your options, including negotiating a better deal. More often than not, settlement agreements are used to record the agreed terms surrounding the termination of an individual's employment, but not always. Sometimes they can be used to settle a dispute that has arisen where the employee will remain employed. You may be offered a settlement agreement by your employer because there is a redundancy situation, or because a dispute has arisen, or the relationship between you and your employer has broken down. By entering into the agreement, both employer and employee make legally binding promises to each other and agree terms surrounding compensation and other payments and things like confidentiality. An employee who agrees to a settlement agreement will give up the right to bring employment law-related claims against their employer, such as unfair dismissal and discrimination. In return, they will normally receive compensation, a job reference, or another benefit for doing so. Usually, the settlement agreement option will be presented by your employer as without prejudice. This will mean discussions should remain private and not referred to at any future employment tribunal claim. Sometimes an employer will suggest the idea during a protected conversation, which is a confidential, off-the-record chat. Whatever the reason behind a settlement agreement, it is mandatory and important to receive independent legal advice on the terms and effect of the agreement before it can be a valid and binding agreement. This is because by signing it, a person waives their legal rights. Not only is it obligatory to obtain independent legal advice before you sign, but choosing an experienced employment law solicitor will help you decide if the settlement agreement is the best option for you and ensure that you receive advice about your possible claims. Our employment team have over 50 years of experience in dealing with employment law matters, including settlement agreements. We can usually offer an appointment within 24 hours, and we are used to working quickly to meet deadlines. We will discuss your options, including negotiating more beneficial terms, and work with you to achieve the best possible settlement. In most cases, your employer will be responsible for your legal costs in obtaining advice about the agreement, so you won't have to pay anything. If you have been offered a settlement agreement, then we can meet with you at one of our offices across the Southwest, or we can advise by video platforms such as Zoom or over the telephone. To receive advice on a settlement agreement or for any other employment law related queries, please contact me, Kerry Curd.